and for the next half hour, I'll be reading from Buffalo Rising on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. From mosh pits to mantras, how extreme metal and DIY taught Jonathan Lambert to heal. Editor's note: Newfane's Jonathan Lambert is a well-known presence on the extreme metal scene. As a photographer and filmmaker, he spent years chronicling that world, making 2 exceptionally produced and well-received documentaries, Between Exaltation and Aggression and Between Exaltation and Aggression 2, which can be seen here. Through his experiences traveling to shows across the Northeast and Midwest in pursuit of his art, he not only developed an unyielding DIY ethos, but also learned how to build relationships, both of which led him down a spiritual path of self-discovery and a want to help others. Capitalizing on his DIY past and first-hand knowledge of the power of music, he's now turned his energies towards helping those in assisted living facilities and with special needs through Bhakti Yoga, the yoga of devotion, a practice which he delivers through musical healing. It's a fascinating transition, and we're thankful to Jonathan for speaking with 1120 Press about it all. 1120 Press, thank you so much for speaking with us and sharing your journey into helping others through musical healing. But before we get started, your background is actually in the DIY world of extreme metal music. Can you talk about your involvement in that scene and how it led to this path? You mentioned you've drawn on your experiences in the DIY scene and have applied that knowledge in what you're doing now. We're curious to learn more about how it translates. Jonathan Lambert, thank you for opening up this space for me at 1120 Press. It's a pleasure to bridge these 2 worlds together. Live music has been the single constant in my life. With nearly 200 concerts under my belt, each show feels like a unique chapter in my history. During my teens and early adulthood, I was fully submerged in the DIY scene, not just as a fan, but as a documentarian. I spent years roaming the streets of Buffalo, Ohio, and Rochester, interviewing musicians for my documentaries, Between Exaltation and Aggression 1 and 2. Growing up, my social circle was small, and extreme metal became the space where I finally felt accepted. While outsiders might only hear chaos, that music resonates deeply with my spirit. It was uplifting and powerful, giving me the grit to pursue meaningful goals. I take immense pride in the DIY ethos I embraced back then because metal was truly my greatest teacher. It taught me everything from graphic design and promotion to the importance of staying authentic to my art. Most importantly, it forced me out of my shell. It showed me how to build genuine relationships and produce high-quality work on a shoestring budget. It gave me the drive to not only create my own vision, but to care deeply about what others were creating and help them push forward. That same do-it-yourself energy is exactly what I use today to advocate for seniors. I'm still building, aiding communities from the ground up, just with a different frequency. So then, please talk to us about that transition. It's quite fascinating. JL, where I am now is a direct extension of that same spirit, just channeled through a more calming frequency. My transition was sparked by the Japanese philosophy of Ikigai, the reason for being, where passion, mission, and vocation finally intersect. Under the spiritual guidance of mentors like Michelle Gigante, Shakti Yoga, Adam Bauer, Maria Pelletier, and Arjun Bruggeman, I discovered the harmonium and found a way to channel my inner spirit through my voice. That led me to Bhakti Yoga, the yoga of devotion, which I now practice by serving residents in assisted living. I found that offering this kind of energy requires that exact same DIY work ethic. You have to be the one calling the facilities, sending the emails, and documenting the journey, because nobody else is going to do it for you. You have to be in it for the right reason to be of service. The overlap lies in being drawn into something different. Most assisted living facilities are used for performers, but I'm bringing in entirely new energy to that space with Indian instruments and chanting, whether it's a basement metal show or a kirtan session in a care home. The goal is the same: to create a space where people feel seen, heard, and moved. How did you ultimately discover this calling of musical healing? What told you this was a worthwhile pursuit? JL. I ultimately discovered this calling as a deep observer of the human condition and the process of aging. Through years of introspection while hiking and a close analysis of the loneliness epidemic, I began seeking ways to provide support. I decided to throw myself into the unknown for the benefit of society, as I feel that is a truly worthwhile pursuit. My sensitivity to these issues began at a young age, when I was deeply impacted by the suicide of multiple friends in high school. That experience made me very empathetic towards male mental health challenges. Later, I witnessed my grandfather's decline as he moved in and out of assisted living. I saw a void where there should have been cognitive engagement and spiritual offerings that bring people together rather than separate them. My most defining trait is this yearning to always push myself toward the new. It was through that drive that I found yoga and the Bhakti side of me, which is now hungry to serve people in this unique way. Can you explain exactly what you do at these facilities, how the harmonium is used, and what a session with patients looks like or involves? When I arrive at these facilities, both physical and spiritually, my intention is to offer the seniors a heart-opening experience rooted in vibration and community wellness. I see my role as a vital counterpart to the medical staff. While the nurses focus on the physical body, I focus on the often overlooked necessity of keeping the human spirit alive. The practice of kirtan isn't about musical perfection. It's about feeding collective joy. I like to explain it this way. If asana is the posture of the body, then mantra is the posture of the mind. Mari meaning mind and tra meaning tool or vehicle. During a session, I teach the meanings behind these mantras and utilize call and response chanting. This allows the group to transcend the individual experience and move into a calm, collective state of mind. I use the harmonium as my rock, a grounding force that guides us through mantras centered on a universal peace. I often tell people that I moved beyond the traditional role of a musician or singer a long time ago. This practice isn't a performance for an audience, it's a transmission. I'm not there to be watched. I'm there to facilitate. The seniors you work with suffer from a wide range of afflictions. What do you think the benefit is for them of these sessions? What are they getting from this experience? I believe these sessions offer them a vital sense of relief. One of the first mantras I teach is Hari Om. It's a beautiful distillation of my work. It is a call to the remover of suffering and a connection to the universal vibration. In the context of the sessions I lead, it represents the moment when a senior's pain, loneliness, or mental fog is cleared away by the resonance of the harmonium. It is more than just a phrase. It is a greeting and a blessing that acknowledges our shared connection to the same cosmic frequency. When we chant it together, we are essentially saying that while the body may be fragile, the spirit is vast, vibrating with a peace that transcends our physical surroundings. The benefits of these gatherings include a reduction in anxiety and distress, a lightened mood, a space to express difficult feelings, and a sincere connection across a generational divide. I describe myself as the grandson who comes over to have fun and make great memories. And there is a photo of Jonathan Lambert at work with seniors. He's holding the harmonium, which looks like it's box-shaped. And the seniors are watching and participating with what he is doing. What is it about music and vibration that can reach a patient in a way that medicine cannot? One of the most interesting things I learned was that musical memory is often the last part of the mind to stay lit up because it's stored in a different, more resilient area than names or facts. While Alzheimer's might take away language, the parts of the brain that respond to rhythm and melody are usually the last to fade. This is why a person who can't remember their own house can still sing every word to a song from their childhood. It allows you to connect with the spirit of the person, even if their cognitive doors have mostly closed. This is the reason why I've really been focused on music as a way to heal. Can you talk about the rhythmic breath mentioned in your literature? What is it and how is it used? JL. Prana is the vital life force energy that flows through all living things, serving as a bridge between the physical body and the spirit. By using the breath as a vehicle, you can direct this energy to help seniors clear blockages and reconnect with their internal sense of vitality. Kirtan is the tool that facilitates this communication of energy. One of my favorite things to share during my visits is that I'm not a singer. I have always been quite shy and reserved, but this practice isn't about me. It is simply the transmission. You are listening to a reading of articles and features from Buffalo Rising on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Buffalo Pro Soccer, Our City, Our Story. Supporters Spotlight, Gabriel Shalamba. The following is a clip from Buffalo Pro Soccer, which is posting a series called Supporter Spotlight, pointing out the people who are helping to build the club from the ground up. Gabriel Shalamba grew up under the warm sun and rolling green hills of South Kivu in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Long before organized leagues and lined fields, he played the game purely for passion, running barefoot with neighbors and using whatever they could find as a ball. And at that time, he never imagined his love for soccer would be carried across continents and help him build something meaningful right here in Buffalo. When civil war began in Congo, Gabriel fled to Mozambique, where he spent a year before being resettled in Buffalo through the United Nations Refugee Resettlement Process, a program that matches displaced individuals in countries where local agencies can support their transition. He didn't receive the warmest welcome from Buffalo, not because of the people, but from the weather, arriving during the October snowstorm. A new culture, a new city, and colder weather were all adjustments Gabriel had to make. And although he spoke more than 5 languages, English wasn't one of them, just another hurdle to overcome. These adjustments weren't easy, but the game quickly became his bridge. He found connection through pickup games at the former LaSalle Park, now Ralph Wilson Park, while learning English in just 6 months. Soccer gave me a community before I even spoke English. During his 11 years at Journey's End Refugee Services as a case manager, Gabriel saw how many children played soccer during his home visits. He saw the same passion his younger self had in the Congo, but also the lack of access these families had due to cost, equipment, and transportation. Gabriel realized the same game that helped him belong here in Buffalo could do the same for others. That realization led to the creation of Buffalo Mandelio Soccer Club. Co-founded by Rick Smith, CEO of Rigidized Metals and Buffalo Pro Soccer investor, the volunteer-driven program serves refugee, immigrant, and low-income youth across Buffalo. The club removes barriers by providing transportation, ensuring every child has the opportunity to step onto the field. For many families, it became more than a team. And according to Gabriel, it's a first connection to other families in Buffalo, helping them build friendships, confidence, and community in their new home. Gabriel continues to play and coach today, spending his summers running sessions, organizing games, and mentoring young players. His own children have progressed into competitive soccer, reflecting the pathway he hopes every child in Buffalo can have. His next step is expanding opportunities, especially for girls, and growing a program that reflects the diversity of the city. When he heard Buffalo was bringing a pro team to the city, he was excited about the opportunity. I want to see a professional team in Buffalo that represents everyone, he said. He believes soccer requires no shared language, culture, or income level, only a ball and a place to play, allowing kids from different backgrounds to become teammates. Gabriel is already starting to see Buffalo Pro Soccer represent the entire city and provide a pathway for local and refugee players to reach the highest level. And in a very important way, he's helping contribute to that foundation. One practice, one ride across town, and one player at a time. Black Dots Records and Bar with live music in the garage room. It takes a lot to surprise me these days, but just the other night I came across an unexpected occurrence that really made me happy. It was Saturday, and my buddy and I decided to head out to have a couple of beers. We started off at one of my favorite bars, Turning Bridge Tavern in Black Rock. From there, we headed to Gypsy Parlor to get some food. At around 10:30 p.m., we decided to call it a night and began walking to the car. As we passed by Black Dot's Record and Bar, I noticed they were still open, as people were still browsing the rows of vinyl. And that's when I remembered that there was, in fact, a bar in back of the record shop. Not only was there a bar, but was also a performance area in the far back garage room. Stopping into a record shop at night with so much activity was very refreshing. My friend picked up a sweet album, and we got to hang around and listen to some live music. Although we did not get anything at the bar, we made a vow to come back to partake in more of the offerings. More browsing, more time at the bar, and more live music sessions. On the way home, we couldn't stop talking about how impressed we were that such a place was open at night. It's so rare to find anything opened that isn't strictly a bar. Even cafes seem to close way too early for the most part. I remember when Black Dots first opened. It was this little vinyl shop, which was super cool. Now it's a multi-pronged music operation that has evolved so much. It's these types of spirited shops that make cities like Buffalo cool. I highly suggest that any music lover, vinyl or live, make a point to stop into Black Dots for a late night browsing or listening session. I guarantee that this place will change the way that you look at and listen to music. Black Dots is open Monday to Wednesday, 12 p.m. to 6 or 7 p.m., Thursday to Saturday, 12 p.m. to 12 a.m., the bar opens at 8 p.m., and Sunday from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Black Dots Records and Bar is at 368 Grant Street in Buffalo. There is a phone number, 716-725-0010. Events include a wide range of live music, chess night, vinyl night, etc. Cover charges for the garage room may apply. '26 Kentucky Derby Day Party at Marigold Manor. Step into the excitement of Derby Day with a celebration that blends timeless tradition and high energy. Buffalo event coordinator and party promoter Debbie Allen is embarking upon her annual Kentucky Derby Day party. Each year, Debbie sets out to bring the Kentucky Derby to Buffalo because it's too expensive to go to the actual event for a lot of people. I've been invited to go in the past, said Debbie, but at around $2,000 a ticket, who can afford that? And I just love the idea of the event so much, getting all dressed up and the ladies with their fancy hats, and the men looking so sharp in their suits and dress shoes. I just had to bring this event to Buffalo. This is the third year that I'm doing it. People just love it so much because there's live stream action, betting on the horses, cigar areas, and a diverse crowd with everyone dressed to the nines. Along with all the colorful attire and the racing action, Marigold Manor at 770 Maryvale Drive is the perfect setting for the Kentucky Derby-style food, which will be served up along with tasty mint julep drinks. You have been listening to a reading of articles and features from Buffalo Rising. We read from Buffalo Rising on Fridays at 8:30 a.m. Your reader has been Janice. Thank you for listening.
You're listening to the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service with broadcast studios at 1199 Harlem Road in Cheektowaga. Radio readings are broadcast 24 hours a day, every day, to area people who are blind or have a print disability. This year, our agency marks almost 40 years on the air with more than 300,000 hours of radio readings to those without sight. Our broadcast signal is provided at no charge by WNED. The Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service website is nfradioreading.org. For more information, call 716-821-5555.
The Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service now presents a reading of articles and features from the Buffalo